Because this video was set to a high frame rate, it accidentally went slow motion, as you can see here. Watch this guy. He just about got away. As soon as the spear tip moved forward, this guy was on his way out, and I was aiming for the head, but I shot just after. It was so cool, though, because I also got some cool slow motion of this amazing squid. This guy was just chill. He noticed I was watching. He was trying to then camouflage. Look at the patterns and the little flickers of light. The chromatophores are changing. These guys have been around since the dinosaurs, so they are an ancient creature, and they haven't changed much at all since then. Look at the pretty patterns and the two false eyes on the back. Now, those false eyes will come into play right here when this guy tries to get away. This is how they do it. So what you notice is he shoots forward and then he bursts out his ink, disguising the forward movement while simultaneously then moving backwards. He did it again real lightly there. But it's a very cool strategy to make it appear with that burst of ink that he's going forward still, where before you know it, your eyes went forward and then he's already back and gone out of view. And usually once you lose focus of those squid, you're pretty much not gonna see him again, because these guys are very well at, very good at disguising themselves and blending in with the environment. Boom. Now, these guys were all cluttered up here. We got a few more slow motion shots here before it it fades in and out here. It's so weird. Boom. I set the frame rate to 100 frames per second, and sometimes when that happens, it screws up and it just randomly goes in and out when I download these videos to fast motion, and boom. That's why a lot of this video I wasn't able to edit until now, because it was such a pain in the butt with it going slow and fast, and it just made it complicated. Look at all those tiny little fish that are saved. Beautiful blue and yellow fish. That was a sea cucumber. Boom. This little guy didn't get away from me there. He was busy hunting little fish. People always ask, "What? Let's see them hunting. Let's see them hunting." Pretty much anytime you see a fish, like right now, he's hunting. He's slowly stalking. Boom. There's little fish that he's slowly creeping up on and trying to remove, trying to eat up. So that's how they hunt. They just put their side fins out and corral fish into corners. Look at how well I'm doing so far. Woo! And they just corral the fish into a little corner and then gobble it up. Guys, look at this. When I first saw it, I was like, what in the heck? How is that real? Is a barrel sponge that tall? What? But it really wasn't. It was actually just an old pole. This is what an actual barrel sponge looks like. And that was just too cylindrical. But for a second there, I saw that and I was like, what in the heck is that? Look inside of this barrel sponge. A little Toby. Look at there. Whoop. Sure, they call those a sharp-nosed puffer. And inside of all this beautiful black sea coral, you see that? There was a awesome little, boom. There was an awesome trumpet fish hiding in there. They hang up and down and they stalk little tiny fish. See, I got this guy really well. I stoned him. You can see that little blur coming from his head. That's his, red stuff. So I go ahead and jam them in the container. That was pretty neat. They go super white, and all their chromatophores basically just turn off when they've been stoned like that. They also, like the cephalopods, the Caribbean reef squid, like we saw earlier, have chromatophores, and they can change color whenever they need to. Boom. When they're over a dark thing, like a dark barrel sponge, they can change really dark. When they're in a dark shadow inside or underneath a cave, they'll turn really dark. But if they are laying above sand, look at these beautiful Frenchies. Those are French angelfish. When they're over some, light sand, they will change almost white, as far as, especially down here at the bottom of the ocean. They are actually quite orange still and quite red. Boom. But those oranges and reds come apart. They come looking like more of a brown, a black and white type figure when you're down here at 85 feet. Boom, 75 feet. You're going to definitely, look more. You're going to lose a lot of those colors. Those warm colors are the first colors to disappear. Look at these guys. This is this little gang of, now this time, gray angelfish just inspecting what I'm doing over here. I found a bunch of lionfish in one spot. Boom. This was during a tournament out of Miami. And we ended up doing really good. That's why I have the huge zookeeper there. We went to an area, and almost every dive, I friggin' filled that thing up. I made that thing by adding two of my original zookeepers together with glue and baking soda. I watched some videos on, online, and I was able to figure out a cool way. And look at two lionfish, boom, hanging out right below one of these fan corals. It's just a really cool, beautiful, soft, fluffy fan coral. But they just love to hang out underneath here. These lionfish, that's like one of their favorite hangout spots, because it's a good, I don't know, they look kind of like a fluffy thing. It's fluffy. They also like eating the little fish that are trying to use that as camouflage. Lionfish are so good at what they do. They can sneak right in there and eat these fish, and they don't have a chance over in this area. And that's why we're removing these, because boom, they are extremely invasive. Missed that guy. Got him that time. And if we weren't to remove these, then they would just decimate all the local populations of reef fish, and it's not really fair to those little guys to just let them all get eaten and with nothing to stop the lionfish. That's just not fair. If we let the lionfish, boom, continue doing what they're doing, these few lionfish will remove all of the other fish on the reef. Where they're from, I'll see one or two in a whole day, but out here, a whole trip really, but out here I'll see 40 or 50, and that's just not normal. Look at this. Now that's just showing you that you can touch this beautiful, clear, translucent bell of this cute little jellyfish, but you don't want to touch those little tiny filaments inside of there. Those will sting you, and it hurts pretty bad, so I don't recommend it. But the outside you can touch all you want. And he's like, what's going on? They have no eyes, of course, so he's probably very concerned about what's happening. But of course I'm not going to hurt him. Pretty darn cool, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much for everything.